straight to purgatory. This is your Captain Marcel Fantini, and by my side, my co-pilot Carl Bombshell invites you to loosen your seatbelts, fasten your boards, because for the first time in this grand finals, it's time to drop Carol!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our first destination, who is the island of Purgatory. And we have here teams, the 12 best teams before SS Sports, Fluxo Team, Corinthians, Tropa, Loud, Nitrox Top 10, Nigels Miners, Vivo Kate, Team Coda Solid, Los Grandes, and Meta Game in the first destination. In a very center rotation, I would say, Marcelo, starting to Ski Lodge, going to Fields, pass through Brasilia, finish it between Central and Golf Course.
And we see Los Grandes going for Mode House, going for the Cebolinha strategy, as
Cebolinha
choked us throughout the season. But we have the usual drop calls from a lot of teams. We see Metagaming and before going to Brasilia, but we also see Team Coda Solid trying to break the call from Metagaming, Carol.
That's unusual because usually Team Coda Solid doesn't go to there. But there it is.
Already now, we might have our first blood in the grand finals. Back is on the floor. We see Drax trying to get the aim onto him. A few players from Team Coda Solid are trying to rotate, they're trying to go and save back. That's what they did. Quali was the one to bring him up, and we start with action, Carol.
We start definitely with action. Team Coda Solid indeed changed their strategy to set new goals here in the finals. They want to go for the trophy, Marcelo. They wanted to be champions. That's the second season they are playing. The first one, they remain inside of the Serie A, but right now they are focused on the trophy. But just to bring you guys inside to understand what is going on over here, Team Coda Solid decided to go to Brasilia, which has one of the best loots in the map and also well positioned in the center in the middle of Purgatory map. But actually, Marcelo, they in the qualifying phase, they went all the time to Ski Lodge.
They only went to Ski Lodge.
Only went to Ski Lodge. So it's such a huge change for them to start throughout the whole season, go to the edge of the map, and right now the best of the call between Metagame and before. That's dangerous.
Coda Solid was in risk of losing their spot in the finals because they started the season really well and then they dropped in performance, so they were threatened to be outside of the grand finals, and they were the worst team in Purgatory between those 12 teams that are in the finals. So a change of pace was needed for Team Coda Solid to bring a better game in this grand finals, Carol.
Yes, so indeed right now, Marcelo, those strategy needs to be made very good, because they had, like you said, an amazing start of the season. They led the season for at least 2 rounds, the standings, of course. But unfortunately, they caught themselves in real trouble when most of the time they had to fight really hard to secure themselves inside of between the top 12 teams. They finished the season in the 10th position with 564 points, which was average, because before reaching the 700 points, Fluxo Team, SS Sports, Corinthians in the 4th position almost reached that, and Team Coda Solid was in a okay position, I would say.
And we see Vivo Kate that quietly became the only team with 4 players with at least 60 kills.
Yeah.
Once again, Vivo Kate splitting the load throughout their 4 players, and that's what made them so dangerous last season, and that's what gave them the title last season.
Yeah, last season, because this season, the former champions, I feel like they did a peaceful season. They were holding back a lot, avoiding a lot of trouble, and only engage into fights during their rotations or in the final stages of the game. Especially in Purgatory, they were always meet against Nitrox Top 10 in the concrete tower between Brasilia and Fields. Campsite and Fields. And like I said, they were only meet throughout those times, and they finished the season in the 9th position, not looking so strong as they did in the 2 last weekends before the finals last season, right?
And we gotta talk about Loud as well. Loud is the third best team in Purgatory, but they are the team with the most Booyahs in Purgatory. They are the team that we usually see opening the day with a Booyah in Purgatory. And we also have to talk about Los Grandes, a team that based their game in Kalahari. They were one of the best teams in Kalahari, but Purgatory was not a great map for them. And maybe we will see why that happened. They came with the car, they caught the attention of Tropa, and we might have the first engagement in this battle. We see the 3 in between two players from Los Grandes, but Cebolinha is the first one who goes down. Giga uses the scythe and puts Mamute to sleep as well. There's 2 players to fight for Los Grandes, and the first blood is Cebolinha. MVR tries to take Moneda down. He puts him down, and Gus brings it back. But Kiled gets the kill on Gus. He tries to help his teammates. He will finish off Gus. Los Grandes goes down, and Tropa loses no players. Important fight for the newcomers. They get the first blood, they get the first team wipe, and they start strong in the finals, Carol.
Indeed, they look very strong with the full squad still alive. A very clean squad wipe over Los Grandes, who decided all out of the assembly go to a different rotation. They usually remain in the upper side of Brasilia in the little house in the high grounds, but right now, doing this dangerous approach, right now they have to pay off because Marcelo all back in the lobby with 0 points for position, 0 points for elimination. That will cost them a lot.
That will indeed cost them a lot, and we already see that Corinthians and Fluxo, 2 teams that fought for the title last season, are face-to-face against each other. We see before Metagaming, Tropa, we see Team Coda Solid all taking care of Brasilia. Brasilia is now a expensive lot for you to buy in expensive lands for you to buy, Carol.
Yes, indeed, because it's very crowded. The neighborhood are outside, and they are looking at each other, studying their opponent's game. And Marcelo, I feel like for now they will wait for the safe zone start to shrink, because they know a little mistake can cost them, as it did with Los Grandes. And that's the drop culture started today, Marcelo, as we saw in the little map. But please, I think you want to bring us some.
I'll bring you the guys on the chat. Sayan Marco is here with us from India. Love to India. We have Letícia Vitória, Giovana Silva over here with us as well. Fernando SE, that is always with us. Shout out to Fernando, who kept with us throughout the whole season. Baxin saying, Vamos Corinthians, saying, let's go Corinthians. We have Jean B. Cole over here. Italo Duques over here as well. Shout outs to people all around the world. Please tell us, where are you watching this broadcast? If you're in Brazil, tell us your state. If you're not in Brazil, tell us your country, where you are watching this right now, Carol.
But what I'm watching specifically right now in Purgatory, it is the quicker rotation that Loud did. If they were in the qualifying phase, Loud would be still in fields, and they are entering already Brasilia, Marcelo. So indeed, the new strategies are being set right now in this map. Vivo Kid, like I said, most of the times they would meet with a Nitrox Top 10, but also Nitrox Top 10, it's out of there, going to Brasilia, trying to take their best spot in there, and seems like Fluxo is engaged, but still just looking, right? Just trying to scare the guys.
They got a quick takedown. Nobru took down Ousado over there, but Corinthians once again brought him up, and we have 11 teams. We have 44 players, and Loud is now taking the high ground, sharing it with Vivo K. This could become a war on that high ground. And we also have Brasilia overpopulated. That was a planned city. That should not happen, Carol.
Yes, that should indeed not happen. But look at the position of Loud team, because Los Grandes decided not to stay in there and try to take the spot of Tropa. They would wipe out and lose one of the best position of the map, the high ground that Purgatory and the Call of Brasilia gives them the opportunity also to understand and look at those teams. But who is keeping the same game? It is SS Sports. They went to Quarry, they loot golf course as well, empty villa, and they are still out of the safe zone.
They are indeed a team that believes in their strategy. They work the way they work throughout the whole season. They are a team that can get the title, that they can get to the top of the standings. They are a strong, aggressive team, one of the favorites this season. As we see, put on the kilt, put on the big dog over there with the car doing his usual rotation. And shout outs to everyone on the chat. Giovanna Silva, always here with us. Giovanna Silva, I love you, mano. Remember?
I love you.
I love you, mano.
I love you, tamo junto.
I love you, tamo junto. Of course. Jake SX here saying that he is from Brazil. Marco Antonio Nunes is here. Pedro Sechi. Please, Carol, bring us some more insights.
Since we were talking about SS Sports, I just would like to clarify for you guys their strategy in Purgatory. They still are keeping the same rotation in the same position. They are out of trouble. But since the first match that they play in Purgatory through the last round, they were only good in the last round. The best round that they had in Purgatory was in the last one, in the last weekend, where they got more than 46 points on this specifically map. So let's see, because of that, they are trying also to keep the same strategy to start the day with the right foot, or at least in the top 3 positions.
And some more countries showing up here with us. We have Madakwa Lakmina, I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but saying that he's from Sri Lanka. Welcome, you guys from Sri Lanka. FF Chevron saying he's from Jamaica, but I don't believe it because he was here speaking in Portuguese in the other broadcasts. We have Salizin saying he's from Brazil. Maxwell Juan cheering for Fluxo. Sagar Muki from India as well. Slate Gaming from India as well. We have all the world here with us, and we have all the world inside of Brasilia. Everyone is there. Vivo Kate is using the advantage of being on the top of the rock. They are using the rock houses to protect themselves, and we know that that is a strong position until the point that you have to go down, Carol.
Yes, until the point that you have to go down. Like I said, Loud looking very good and strong in the high ground view, but that's what we know. Everything that goes up needs to come down. This is the gravity law, right? So,
except for the balloon father.
Oh. How can you remember that? That's so
I remember.
That's so funny. But indeed, every single one, it is inside of Brasilia. And SS Sports, they did a quiet rotation. They did a very peaceful rotation.
But now they can face off against Night Shoes Miners.
We will see that because Night Shoes Miners is rotating by car.
They are rotating by car. They are being shot, and there is a player taken out.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Who do you think that took that player down? It was MTS with an amazing kappa, with an amazing headshot onto the player of Net Shoes Miners, and Broilo will go down. What an awful rotation from Net Shoes Miners. Now the fight goes on. Juan puts Natividade to the floor. Let's see if B4 can get some more points. Juan takes down Natividade. The former MVP starts with 8 points. For B4, he has 2 now. The 2 points that B4 has in this matchup. We see Iago rotating. He's going for the house where the fight is going on, and Hick will side through Juan down, and he will side Iago. Oh my god, Lobato goes down. 3 side kills for Hick. What is this man doing? He just became the Green Reaper. 3 kills for him, but Brozing will save before. My god, what did that man do? He almost won the fight with only the scythe, Carol.
That was indeed incredible, but unfortunately, before it's one less player, Marcelo, and Lobato would be an amazing help with Iago. He's also showing up in the MVP list, and right now will be a little hard for B4 to do an aggressive game with only 3 players alive. And since we are talking about before, please, if you have something to say, just say.
Please.
I just want to point it out that before they, as the best team in the qualifying phase, in Purgatory is no different. They had an amazing performance in Purgatory. So let's see if they can manage to do that also here today with 3 players.
We have 3 players remaining indeed. Before they were the best team, the team that scored the most points in Purgatory, and now Iago takes down Phoenix, and he might give some trouble to SS Sports. Chubinha will go over to try to help his teammate over there. We see MTS showing up to try to fight Iago, and the player from before is trying to take his shots out of that house. We still have 10 teams left, 2 teams wiped out. Net Shoes Miners and Los Grandes, and only one other player went down, that it was the player from before indeed. And now we see Vivo Kate going after the players from Team Coda Solid. The grenades from General are coming in. He tries to find the damage onto Beck, but we see Modestia rushing, and Nando 9 puts Beck to the floor. The sniper gets the first takedown for Vivo Kate. He was a newcomer last season, and now he is helping Vivo Kate to try to go after the second title in a row. Vichy Gispe puts General to the floor and finishes off General, but he is in danger. That guy is near him, and Bone will go down. Bone will not be helped. Quad is over there trying to take him down, but it was the safe zone who took General, who took that guy down. Modestia goes up and take Quali to the floor as well. He will try to help that guy over there as that guy leaves the gas. There is one more player to fight for Team Coda Solid, and it's the MVP runner, Fijin Gispe. He's inside of the house, waiting for the rush from the players of Vivo Kate. And look at Nando 9. He got the shot and got the squad wipe. Vivo Kate starting strong, 4 points for them, Carol.
Saving the day, the last shot coming from the hands of Nando 9, one of the best supports from last season, Marcelo.
And now we see Topa being harmed by a few teams over there, as we see Corinthians and Metagaming going over. Drax takes one down, Lost gets another. Zenak will try to save the players from Tropa. Tropa goes down. Corinthians is still in this fight. Metagaming has 3 players to fight because Lost will be helped. Meanwhile, Loud will go over and try to take Vivo Kate out of this map. They already take that guy out of the game. Zenak finds the nice Kappa, the nice headshot onto Drax. Now 2 players to fight for Metagaming. Ozado will put Ian down. Corinthians is coming strong, and they will take Metagaming out. They will take Metagaming out of the game as K1 is fighting against Vivo Kate. Modestia goes down. There's only one player to fight for Vivo Kate. Before is also being harmed this time by Fluxo, and MTS gets the double kill. He takes Thiago down, and he takes Prozin down. MTS is playing it count. He wants the MVP. Triple kill for MTS. Wildhead puts Phoenix to sleep. Shinez comes in and puts Shubinha down, but MTS is bringing it back. Put on with the side. Will try to grab, and Vivo Kate goes down. SS Sports tries to save itself. There is only Boot on the big dog to fight, and he will not be able to. CS gets the triple kill and eliminates the whole Nitrox top 10 squad. He is coming for the fight. CS is the man with the explosives. He does it all. 3 teams, 4 players in each team. 12 players still standing in this last battle. It's Loud, Fluxo, and Corinthians. 3 of the most beloved teams in Brazil. Let's see who will get the first point in this grand finals. Japa, BKR, and Razur goes down. Japa takes him down, and the former MVP, the former Mr. LBFF tries to take down. CS puts Pops to sleep with another grenade. He sends him back to the floor. Ozado goes down with another grenade. Nice grenade launcher shot from CS. K1 steals a kill on Zena, and there's only 2 teams. It's Fluxo versus Loud. It can't get better than that. We see Loud going after the players from Fluxo. Will rushing in, trying to take the players from Fluxo down, trying to open some space for Loud to go in. Will is in the windows. He tries to face off against Nobru. We see Fuck inside of there. CS is in the 2nd floor. The ice protects him. We see Noda using the Balbao, trying to go over. Japa BKR has an MX7 over there to try to help Fluxo. We see K1 with the grenades. He shots. He uses the grenades to fight Japa BKR. Kronos will take it down. Kronos once again. But CS brings it back. Sends Kronos to the floor. Who will win this amazing battle? Will puts Fuck to the floor, and Fluxo will go down!